Today I'm going to be making another dessert. I know I'm on a dessert roll. And it's going to be creamy and crunchy and cold, and it's going to be delicious and healthy. So that's exciting for me. And it's going to be called extra crunchy cheesecake cups. You could call them cheesecake cups. We're going to be using these little cups that have covers. They hold more than you think. And I think we're ready to begin. The first thing that we're going to make is a crust. But yeah, instead of using graham crackers, what I'm going to be using is sunflower seeds, because graham crackers are full of carbs and sugar, no fiber, it's low nutrition. But sunflower seeds, some shelled sunflower seeds have a lot of nutrition in them. So I'm going to use 2/3 cup of sunflower seeds as my flour. I think this is about 600 calories. You know, so you can eat sunflower seeds, but you shouldn't eat the whole jar of sunflower seeds. And then, watch this. It's pretty cool. I put it over here and I put it in my bowl. And isn't that incredible? I'll just pour it in here so you can see it. Yeah. It looks like flour, and you saw it, it's sunflower seeds. And to that, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm using grass-fed. And then I'm going to add to that, I'm going to add a little bit of confectioners sugar. So it's healthy, not detrimental sugar. I believe this one is erythritol, but let me just read the back. Yes, and it has some prebiotics to it. So I'm going to add, this is a small teaspoon, and it doesn't matter how much you add, so I don't even need to measure it, and you really don't need to do this. Just gives it a little sweeter taste. I have to tell you, I like the taste of this sunseed ground up into flour. So then you're going to mix it all together. And it's going to make similar to if you would take in graham crackers and added butter. And then what you do, this is like your graham cracker crust, it's your sunseed crust. And you're going to just take like a tablespoon and add it to each of your cups and press it down. I saw that this one could use a little bit more. And how much of this you use is really your decision. And then you pat it down and makes like a graham cracker crust. I made 9 of them. That's how many cups. You know, if you double this, you could get twice as much. So here we have it. Now we have our crust. The next thing we're going to do is add the crispy part. Let me grab it out of my refrigerator. The crispy part. We are going to be adding cucumbers. Salted cucumbers. Right? I know. It's so delicious. And you're not going to add a lot, but you're going to get some of that wonderful crispy cucumber taste in there. You may say, how in the world can you put cucumber in your dessert? Well, think about celery sticks. We put peanut butter and cream cheese on that. We stuff cold red peppers. So I think it's a wonderful way to get a little more vegetable into your life, and I love it. So see how I did this? I just really thinly sliced a cucumber, and I just kept it cold until I used it, and then put it in my cups, my cheesecake cups. And then I'm just going to pat it down. I wouldn't doubt the more I make this, the more cucumber I'm going to be adding. You know, part of cooking is finding out what you like, what you love, and then start using it and getting creative in the kitchen and not being afraid to veer away from a recipe. That's where the wonder and the joy and the pleasure starts in the kitchen. Okay, the third thing that we're going to add is the filling. And the filling is made out of, which I have already made, 1/2 a cup of cream cheese. 1/2 a block, I'm so sorry, 1/2 a block of cream cheese. And you whip it up in your mixer. Then you put that into a bowl and you add about 1/2 cup of heavy cream that's also been whipped. 2 whipped items. And you put them together, and we'll just ignore that. Those are my telemarketers calling. So you're going to put those two together. Okay. All right. So we're going to put those two together. You can add a little bit vanilla, which I did. I don't always. Then I added a little bit more of a sweetener. Not necessary. The two main things is the cream cheese, which has been whipped up, separate from the cream that has been whipped up, and then you put them together. And I put them into a piping bag, and there it is. And I had to have my husband help me get it in the piping bag. Boy, oh boy, but it's fun. Like I said, you should have fun in the kitchen. And then you're going to just squeeze it in, one, and I'm just going to squeeze around. I'll come back and give more when I see that everyone's had some. Feeding my little cups here, covering up my cucumbers, hoping that someone who doesn't like vegetables would love this if I didn't tell them that it had cucumbers in it. Okay. And I can add a little bit more. Gotta cover the green. So that's the third thing I did. Isn't it pretty? And you know what? It's really, really fun. It's good to use your hands, whether you're knitting or painting or doing your hair or in the kitchen. We're using our hands. Okay. All right. Now what I'm going to do, the topping. You could put a red cherry on this. What I'm going to do is add some more nuts. So I'm going to add today hazelnuts. I don't know if you have eaten many hazelnuts, but hazelnuts actually have more vitamins and minerals in a general sense than walnuts. But the difference is walnuts have more protein. But hazelnuts are so crunchy. They were the perfect item to put on my extra crunchy cheesecake crust cups. And so I put on hazelnuts. And then I'm going to put the cover on them, and they're going straight to the fridge and chill. This has way more fat than it does sugar, way more fat than it does carbs. It hardly has any sugar or carbs, but it doesn't have that much fat. I figured in a very approximately 60, 70, 80 grams of fat, probably more like 60 in this whole dessert when I made 9. And so we can round it off and say about 6. There are about 6. Let me just forget my mess. There are about 6, maybe 7 grams of fat in each one. So there they are. I can go ahead and taste one. I sure wish the cameraman could come around and taste it. But I try to get down and get to the bottom. It's creamy, it's crunchy, and it's cold. So here we are. I'll be putting the covers on them. I'll be putting the directions down below. But I wish you such a good day. I hope you're doing well.